But let's get to our next headliner topic on this edition of the Rock News Roundup podcast. And this again covers a deluxe reissue, this time coming from classic rock favorites Pink Floyd. They are releasing a 50th anniversary deluxe edition of their classic album from 1975, Wish You Were Here. This is the original copy that I have. Obviously, this is a classic album with awesome artwork from Storm Thorkson, who did all of Pink Floyd's albums in the 70s. That is a classic album title. I think actually one of the guys on this album cover actually recently passed away, but that is a classic Pink Floyd album cover, a classic Pink Floyd album. So they're coming out on December the 12th via Sony Music with the Wish You Were Here 50th anniversary edition. Pre-orders are up now on the Pink Floyd website. It's going to be out on multiple formats because that's how it goes with all of these crazy box sets and deluxe editions and reissues that these classic rock bands do. It's coming out on 3 LP, 2 CD, Blu-ray, and also, of course, a mega super deluxe box set that's going to include all sorts of awesome stuff. It's going to contain the original album, of course, with a new Dolby Atmos mix, which is really cool. Dolby Atmos is one of the best sounds that you can get, whether you're in a movie theater or you're listening at home. And this is going to include a bunch of new bonus tracks. Nothing really revolutionary or anything that's going to change the world. It's got demos of Welcome to the Machine called The Machine Song, including Roger Waters. We don't want to get talking about him, but Roger Waters' original demo of Welcome to the Machine, which is, of course, one of my favorite tracks from Wish You Were Here. It's going to include a live bootleg recorded at LA Sports Arena in 1975, as well as various mixes and remixes. As I said, nothing really groundbreaking here, nothing earth-shattering, nothing really we haven't already gotten before. But in case you didn't pick up, the original album, you didn't get the 10th anniversary edition or the 20th anniversary edition or the 30th anniversary edition or the 40th anniversary edition, well, now you can pick up the 50th anniversary edition. Of course, it's going to cost you just a little bit. You can actually pull up the page here on the official Pink Floyd website. Shop Wish You Were Here 50 with a whole lot of different versions of the album. So you have the 3 LP vinyl set, which also comes with a t-shirt that's going to run you $104 USD. You have the 2 CD set and t-shirt, which is probably the one I would get would be the CD version. I have a couple of deluxe editions of the CD version of Dark Side of the Moon. That's going to be from $54.98 USD. The Blu-ray audio and t-shirt, that's going to be $61.98. And then if you take a look at the huge deluxe box set, the Wish You Were Here 50th anniversary deluxe box set, that's going to be $249. So it's going to be about $250 American. The 3 LP set, $70 American. The 2 CD set just on its own about $20, which is pretty decent. And the 50th anniversary Blu-ray audio, if you just want that Blu-ray, that's going to be $27 American. And then all sorts of other Wish You Were Here related merchandise. We have the 50th anniversary ashtray, which is obviously essential. The refillable lighter, that's pretty cool. I like the stage crew jacket. That's really cool. And then an assortment of t-shirts, a cigar ashtray. What else? You got a floaty keychain, a button set, a pin, a mug. There's actually 2 pages of stuff. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, a skate deck. Oh, that's really cool. They got a couple of different Wish You Were Here skate decks. If I was a skater, I'd want one of those for sure. Especially, I think the robot hands skate deck. That looks awesome. Throw blanket, patch, framed print, button down, iPhone case, another skate deck, another t-shirt. Actually, some decent stuff here if you're a Pink Floyd fan and you want to pick up all this stuff. And really, guys, I am not above buying all this unnecessary merch from my favorite band, because as you might have seen in one of my videos recently here on the channel, I went crazy when it came to buying Oasis merchandise at the pop-up shop that they had in Toronto a few weeks back. So yeah, not above buying unnecessary merch. And it looks like they got some cool stuff on the Pink Floyd website, in addition to the actual just, audio version of the album. And really, I love Wish You Were Here. It's one of my favorite Pink Floyd albums. It really comes from that solid period in the mid-70s, this, Dark Side, Wish You Were Here, into Animals, Into the Wall. That period of Pink Floyd, I think, is their best. And I really love all the songs on this album, whether it be Shine On You Crazy Diamond, Welcome to the Machine, Have a Cigar. It's a great record. I love Wish You Were Here. It's one of my favorites. But I'm thinking, with all these bands, and this goes to any band that I listen to, whether it be Oasis, whether it be the Beatles, whether it be any band that I like or I don't like when will the reissue train end? Because at this point, Pink Floyd, they sold all their interest in their music. They don't get along. Roger Waters doesn't get along with David Gilmour or Nick Mason. They don't do anything anymore. They had that big reunion about 20 years ago when the 4 original members, or except for Sid, got together, except for Sid Barrett. They got together, they did their thing. We had that big reunion. And now with all these bands, Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, name your band, it doesn't matter. We are on this reissue train, and I'm thinking the music itself, right, is timeless, right? This stuff will never go away, whether it's streaming, vinyl, CD. My hope is that this classic music never really leaves the public consciousness. But really, how many times can you reissue the same album? I say this as I buy, you should look out of here. I say this as I buy the umpteenth version of every Oasis album. When I went to the pop-up shop, I had to buy the tour version of their albums, which I didn't have before in my collection, because you know what? I'm not above, like I said, not above buying merch, not above buying the same album a million times. But it just feels like, this is the 50th anniversary reissue. So we're going to talk a 60th anniversary in 10 years. Are they going to do that? Is this the end of the line for this particular album and its reissues? I'm thinking about, coming out in a few months, we have the Beatles anthology, which, they're releasing the 4th anthology edition. They're re-releasing it on this format, that format. We get some more outtakes, which is cool, but there's really nothing truly new. When it comes to these bands, whether the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, we really have gotten everything. I know there's always a couple of stragglers, whether if you're the Beatles, Carnival of Light. If you're Pink Floyd, maybe there's a couple of bips and bobs that are still out there in the ether that could get released on a potential 60th anniversary edition of Wish You Were Here. But I'm thinking there really has to be an end to all this. Eventually we will have enough different versions of every album that I don't think they're going to be necessary to do a reissue. Now, I understand from the label's perspective, not even really the artist's perspective. I don't think Pink Floyd really care about a 50th anniversary edition of Wish You Were Here. But from a label's perspective, there's always money in reissues, probably even more so than releasing new music by new artists. I get that. But eventually, it's just, we'll have everything. There's no need to reissue it. I know for a lot of bands, we're in the streaming era, Spotify, Apple Music, lossless, all these different audio formats, that releasing this music with updated remasters, which I think, are these remixed or even remastered? I know we have the new Dolby Atmos mix, but it's a way of onboarding new fans over the years, because this music is timeless. Like I said, there will always be new fans of Pink Floyd, thankfully. Younger music fans are still growing up with the classics. There will always be fans of the Beatles, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Oasis, whoever the band is. There will always be fans, new fans that are coming up and want to enjoy this music and have it be able to sonically in the headphones be able to sit side by side with modern music. I totally get that. But eventually I feel like we're going to reach the end of the reissue train, but I could be wrong. If you're a Pink Floyd fan, I'm sure you're going to be looking at picking up a deluxe edition of the new, not even the new, an old Pink Floyd album, but 50 years later. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about classic rock bands and reissues? Do you feel like it's just something that's going to continue till infinity, forevermore? We're always going to get more reissues? Or do you feel like there's a certain cap or a certain limit to how many different reissues we can get of classic records like Wish You Were Here? Hop into the comments below and let me know your thoughts.